Hola, por favor, and welcome to your daily dose of Fortnite. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison video between two of the more used soldiers. Master Grenadier Ramirez, who is the original mythic soldier to come with the game. You can only get her out of llamas or hero transformations. And the legendary hero Urban Assault Headhunter. So we're going to start off here comparing their abilities. I noticed when I was doing a compare between the two, the damage numbers seemed to be a little funky. Potentially the tooltips were incorrect. So right now I'm just going to look at their abilities, and then later on I'll slot them in my heroes section, and we'll take a look at them individually for the different damage numbers in their abilities. But first we'll go ahead and look at their main abilities. They both have frag grenades, so you can see Master Grenadier on the left here has frag grenade, and Urban Assault Headhunter has frag grenade. They both have Going Commando, and they both have the Shockwave ability. So they both have the same three class abilities. They both start off with the advanced tactics, ranged weapon damage increased by 10% and health increased by 10%. They both have debilitating shots. Dealing range damage applies 1 stack of vulnerability, increasing damage taken from all sources by 5% on the target for 15 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. So that means 3 times 15% increased damage from all sources on the target that you are shooting, basically. This is where they start to get different. The Urban Assault Headhunter is much more focused on single target damage. She's going to get the Lingering Pain perk. Vulnerability effect now stacks up to 5 times from debilitating shots. That means you can go from 15 to 25% increased damage, and then later on she also gets another perk called Kneecapper, which increases the effectiveness of debilitating shots. Vulnerability stacks up to 9%. So what that means is this 5 becomes a 9, and then it can stack up to 5 times, so 9 times 5 is 45% increased damage from all sources on the husk that you're attacking once you shoot it 5 times. So that is a big difference between the two. She has steady aim, reduces recoil by 29%. Quick clip increases reload speed by 30%. And then she also has Make It Rain, so headshotting enemies increases ranged weapon rate of fire by 25% for 5 seconds. But then she also has Rain Faster, which increased the rate of fire for Make It Rain by 25%. So I actually haven't tested this. I'm not sure if it goes up to 50% for the rate of fire, or if it increases the 25% by another 25%. So that would be around 33% total. Either way, it's much faster than the Master Grenadier, who does not have either of those two perks. And then she has the Keep Out for her grenades. Both of them do. Leaves a residual energy field doing 15% of the initial grenade damage every second for 10 seconds. So you get a little extra damage out of your grenades from both of them if the husks walk through the area that the grenade had exploded in initially. So those are the unique perks to Urban Assault Headhunter. Now we'll go through Master Grenadier Ramirez. She is much more focused on AoE or area damage, taking out large groups of husks, and she's not quite as good, that means, on single target. Like we said, she doesn't have the Lingering Pain, which makes the vulnerability stack even higher, and she doesn't have Make It Rain or Rain Faster. But what she does have are a ton of perks for her grenades. So the first one is Rucksack. She can carry 2 more grenades than the Urban Assault Headhunter, so that's 5 total grenades. She also has this Grenade Damage perk, increases the damage of her frag grenades by 25%. Pull the Pin, reduce the cost of frag grenade by 30. So instead of It's actually 45 energy to start. Now it only costs you 15 energy to throw a grenade. So basically, if you have 5 grenades, you can just spam 5 grenades in a row because you'll have enough energy to do that if you need to. You can see 45 energy for the Urban Assault Headhunter. So she can only hold 3 grenades, and she couldn't even throw all 3 in a row because you only have 100 energy, and they cost 45 each. Moving on, she has Bigger is Better, increase the radius of frag grenade by 35%. So now instead of the 1 tile radius, it's going to be 1.35 tiles, so it's just a larger area that it explodes in, and also that means there's a larger area for the Keep Out perk to affect. So just a bigger area the husks can walk through to take additional damage. Survivalist, killing an enemy with an ability or weapon recovers 3 base health per second over 3 seconds. Kills reset the healing duration and will not activate on full health. So basically, as you kill things, you're healing yourself if you're not at full health, which is a nice side perk to have. Another unique perk to the Master Grenadier, Cluster Bomb, releases 6 cluster explosions around the impact site that will each do 25% of the original damage. So basically, when you throw a grenade, you're going to have the initial impact, and then 6 little bombs are going to pop out in all directions and then explode as well, doing a quarter of the original damage. So that's another perk meant to increase her area effect damage. So now we're going to go ahead and slot these, and we'll take a look at some of the damage numbers. So we'll start with Master Grenadier. In her support bonus, or support squad slot, I usually run Shuriken Master Sarah because she gets the increased ability damage, and since we're mainly focused on grenades with Master Grenadier, that's an ability, so we want to increase the damage as much as we can. And then for the tactical, I usually use the Berserker, and what that does is make my shockwave stun enemies for 2.5 seconds. It's pretty useful for blasters or smashers if you just want to get a couple seconds to stop them in their tracks, stop them firing at you or hitting you, and then you can go ahead and burn them down in that couple extra seconds, hopefully. So we will go back. Let's go first to our armory. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the abilities first. So you can see her grenade damage. If you were paying attention before, it was listed at about 20,000. It's increased now because of the Shuriken Master, up to 33,000 roughly damage, which is a pretty big jump from the initial grenade damage. And I don't know if there are any other main, there's no more main differences here, but we'll just remember that 33,000 damage for her grenades. It's going to be a ton more than the Urban Assault Headhunter. And then we'll take a look at a gun that we have. So we'll take a look at, let's say, our 106 Nocturno. The stats, so you can see the damage per shot is going to be 2116.0. So we'll remember that as well for the Urban Assault Headhunter. And let's go ahead. I think that's all the big changes I wanted to show you for the Master Grenadier. So let's go ahead and slot our Urban Assault Headhunter. And for her support, I normally use the increased assault rifle damage. So Master Grenadier has that, but just to keep things fair, since I only had a 3-star hero in the support bonus for Master Grenadier, I'll use my Berserker, who has the same squad bonus as Master Grenadier for this purpose. Still increases the assault weapon damage by 24%. So again, you're just getting more damage from your gun rather than your grenades, because that's what she's focused on. And then for the tactical, I normally use the Double Agent Vaughn, and then that gives the Urban Assault Headhunter the Cluster Bomb. So she also gets the 6 cluster explosions, but they only do 12.5% of the original damage. So they do half as much damage as the Master Grenadier's Cluster Bombs would. So let's take a look at her ability damage. can see her grenades go up to 21,900. So if you remember, the Master Grenadier's grenade damage was 33,000, so that's 12,000 damage less. So the Master Grenadier is almost 50% more damage just from the initial grenade blast, and it is a much larger radius when it goes off. So let's take a look at the Nocturna damage. Because we are using the support, we're going to get a little bit more damage on this, and it should show. There we go. I don't know why I was showing the 2100, but you can see now the damage per shot is up to 2522 damage. So you do get a little bit extra damage from each shot, and because of her perks like Make It Rain, you're going to be shooting faster. So you're going to be doing more damage overall just from your guns. So now that's basically the comparison of abilities and damage. So now I'm just going to show a couple clips of actual gameplay just to kind of illustrate my point of the Master Grenadier being better for groups of husks and a little worse for single target damage, and the Urban Assault Headhunter being better for single target damage. You know, on a mist monster, take them down quicker, but not quite as good on the area damage of taking up big groups of husks. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. For this first clip, I'm going to show you taking down a smasher with each hero. I'm using my 106 water Nocturna that I showed you before. So the left is Urban Assault Headhunter, the right is Master Grenadier Ramirez, and you can see that we burn through our clip much faster with Urban Assault Headhunter, but also do a lot more damage a lot quicker. So here we go, it's 9.3 seconds for the Urban Assault Headhunter, and it's about 13 seconds for Master Grenadier for the same Fire Smasher. This next clip is going to be taking down an encampment. So the first clip is the Master Grenadier. You can see I'm kind of lining them up for a grenade. And there's one grenade. I threw another one. I probably could have got away with just one grenade there to clear the encampment. But I threw the extra one just for good measure. But you see I didn't have to fire any shots on that small encampment at all. And here is the Urban Assault Headhunter. Same thing, a small encampment. We got a little unlucky. They got spread out here. So I'm trying to corral them up so we can do kind of the same thing we did. So I'll throw a grenade there. You see it took most of them out. Not quite as much damage. So there are a few stragglers here. So we have to knock down a couple stragglers. But overall, as you can see, it's just a little bit better for groups of enemies for the Master Grenadier, as you would expect, because her grenades are so good. But the single target damage is much better for the Urban Assault Headhunter. One other benefit that you'll notice between the two, obviously if you're using more grenades, you're probably not using as much ammo as the Master, or with the Master Grenadier, that you would be with Urban Assault, just because you're using your gun less, and the Urban Assault has the Make It Rain and Rain Faster, which is going to use more ammo quicker. So that's another small benefit, is maybe you won't use as much ammo when you're using the Master Grenadier, because she's more focused on ability damage. So that pretty much wraps up my review of Master Grenadier versus Urban Assault Headhunter. If you have any questions or thoughts, or if you think I missed anything, leave them in the comments. And if you liked the video, go ahead and consider subscribing and hitting the notification button so you will be notified every time I upload a video. As always, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.